and Marcus Hill in goal. The back three, Jasper Judd, George King and Sean Samade. In midfield, Joel Drakes Thomas, Chucks Akoli, Kyrese Adams-Coleman, Dean Benamar. He's the one change from that win over West Ham, coming in for Freddie Cowan. And in the forward position, Seb Williams. Benji Casey, who is one to watch, as is Zach Henry. On the Palace bench this afternoon, Ewan Danaher, Jack Mason, David Montjon, Jerome Osai and Tyler White. As for Leicester, they go with Jack Donoghue in goal. The rest of their lineup: Alpha Diallo, Reece Keller, Louis Page, Kevin Gray, Maxwell Adedeji, Lorenz Hutchinson, Caleb Dyke, Josh King, who is definitely a danger player, Leolu Ombalaji and Will Daniels, their bench, Lukman Adid, Freddie Marson, Bismarck Owusu, Hugo Delisle and David Anugo. So what have Palace's talented crop of youngsters got up their sleeves in this one, I wonder? They get us underway at the King Power Performance Centre, hoping to make a fast start. They'll play with a real spring in the step after scoring so many goals in the last game, as this is knocked back firmly by George King, who scored in injury time to complete the rout in the London derby last time out. Palace with early possession. Williams competing for the ball. First is Drakes Thomas. Benji Casey, rapid, making that peeling run, putting Leicester on the back foot from the outset. Both these teams were pretty unlucky, really, in the FA Youth Cup to draw such good opposition. Palace going down to a narrow defeat against Manchester City, and Leicester losing to Chelsea. Did beat them 5-2 away in August. Leicester started the season superbly, actually. Had a 5-2 at West Brom as well in that month, but they've fallen by the wayside since. It's Palace on the attack down the left-hand side. He just couldn't find the pass he wanted. Dean Benamar, as we welcome Eagles fans far and wide, wherever you may be tuning into the action. What a day in prospect, with the big derby at West Ham coming up later on the back of the first team's terrific win at Leicester in midweek. Jean-Philippe Mateta and Mark Gahey, the scorers. Can the under-18s repeat and sink the Foxes at their own level in their own backyard? That's the idea, certainly. Leicester just 1 point off the bottom. West Brom currently propping up the table, but Palace with much loftier ambitions, really nicely situated. 1 behind Southampton and 3 behind Villa, who admittedly do have games in hand. Leicester in their traditional blue, with Diallo knocking the pass. Good hassling, good pressure from Palace. King releasing Benamar, getting forward well in the early stages of this game. Positive opening from Palace. He just kicked the ball away from himself inadvertently there, did Benamar, but good to see him eating up the turf, getting forward at every opportunity. Just eluded his grasp on that occasion, but Leicester will have looked at the form guide. They'll have looked at how Palace have been faring, and not only the win against West Ham, you look at the way they finished the year with that brilliant win, second half super show against Chelsea before Christmas. Good passing football, crisp and precise. Benamar again, floats over the cross. Comes now for Drakes Thomas, under 16 player who stepped up to a higher age range, 3rd start in a row, and clearly enjoying his football. Got the 4th in the 4-2 against Chelsea. Chucks Akoli, 2-goal hero against West Ham. Goals do come from all areas in this team. Certainly that will please the coaching staff, the way they shared them round in that win. Now, Will Daniels for Leicester. who got the majority of their points in the first month. Really tough. They've lost their last 5 in all comps. Good to hear the instructions coming from the benches, all part of the broadcast on Palace TV of these youth games. You get right in amongst it.
Runs! Oh, runs!
Doing a commentary of their own, aren't they? Here's Drake's Thomas up against Reece Keller. That's going to be a good tussle. Drake's Thomas managed to squeeze the crossover.
Zach, box! Zach, box!
Drake's Thomas has been excellent so far, but it just ran away from him. And
Zach,
Annie Winger will say you don't always have to beat the man to get the cross in. He did manage to manufacture a little bit of space to get the first one over. Second stab at it, he tried to dribble round the defender. Didn't quite come off, but they are threatening down both flanks already, particularly with Banamar on the left and Drake's Thomas on this near side.
And you ain't got so far to run back.
So early stages.
From the front, Kyrie's.
Palace looking good so far. They've had the majority of possession, but looking at the stats actually from the Hammers win, they had 20 shots, 12 on target. Only 35% possession, so it just goes to show it's what you do when you have the ball. And they were devastating, really. It's going to give them bags of belief, but they know you've got to earn the right to win any game. Yes, Leicester are in the nether regions of the table, but ball given away here. Will Daniels for the home side, plays it in for King, but it just spins through for Marcus Hill. We'll hope to keep another clean sheet in this game between the posts for Crystal Palace. Under 21s going down 2-1 last night. Can't get to the final of the Premier League International Cup every season. Got to the showpiece the previous 2 campaigns, losing one and then winning gloriously last season. But big positive of the night, of course, was Jesse Derry getting his first goal at under 21 level, and he has been prolific for the under 18s this season. 12 in 12. Great to see him get a goal. RB Leipzig in European competition, showing he's comfortable making the step up. Here now is Lolu Ombalaji of Leicester, who are hoping to get back to winning ways. Lots of energy on the pitch and just at the sidelines. Page, good little pivot that's fine balance from Page. Palace though, well drilled, good shape, and when you've got the likes of Casey looking to embark on a counter, there's always hope for you. Attempting to wriggle free of Reece Keller.
Will, take care on the ball.
Laulu, half and off.
Take care on the ball is one of the phrases coming across from the coaches. Palace would love to get an early goal.
Will, not too tight, Will!
Hill for Jasper Judd. Keller has been good so far for Leicester. Louis Page, the ambitious raking ball towards Lorenz Hutchinson, but Dean Banamar is over. He's done well in defence and getting further forward as the player who came in for Freddie Cowan in the only alteration to the lineup. Very strong squad, good players on the bench for Palace. Perhaps we'll see later on. Not a clear opportunity yet. Page, Williams lurking in his slipstream. 3 goals this season, including one in the last game. And he got the first in that remarkable second half showing against Chelsea on the 17th of December. Will Daniels. Keller on the overlap.
Good boy. Good, Laulu. Oh, that's so screwed.
Laulu Ombalaji just straight into an offside position. And a free kick for Palace.
Well done, lads.
Remember, this is the first of 2 offerings for you today on Palace TV. Live audio commentary from our friends BBC London of the big game at West Ham. Palace looking to continue their fine form. Kick-off at 3 p.m. this afternoon. Oliver Glasner hoping to mastermind another victory on the road. Much shorter journey this time, and Palace will hope to get the result. Great to hear from Roman Essa. His first interview exclusively on Palace TV side for Millwall. I've seen quite a bit of him actually in the EFL. He's a fantastic talent, really good acquisition that for Palace. We'll hear from him again at half-time. Of course, if you joined us earlier on, you will have seen the 5 goals scored by the under-18s at West Ham, and we've also at half-time, as well as the highlights of this one and a repeat of the interview with Roman Essa, we can witness 6 goals scored by the Palace women in beating Sheffield United in the Women's FA Cup, booking a place in round 5. Great to see. Palace thriving at all levels. They've got a free kick here. Good playing surface at Leicester City's academy.
Go on, Lorenz! Go on!
Forced into the area there. Pressure applied by the hosts. Not much to choose between them so far, is that? And it's often the case at this level. You get sides near the bottom on a bad run, sides near the top, and they can still compete closely with each other. So much talent in the Premier League academy system. Near at Leicester now with Alpha Diallo floating the ball. Daniels with the cross. Good solid defending. Page stroking the passes. Diallo now.
George, take runner.
Hutchinson, the Leicester number 7, clips one in.
Well done.
The header was one, but no real purchase on it. Just came off the top of the head and spanned to safety for Palace, hoping to embark on a counter-attack. Here's Casey. He's lively. He's got electric pace, and he might just take them all on here, Casey. But it's decent work by Sean Samade. It had to be. Casey was looking favourite there to get the better of all of the Leicester defenders, but Samade just glided over, didn't lunge in, waited and put in the tackle, and that after the other end, Leicester had produced a cross. Good work by Lorenz Hutchinson, but nothing to concern the Palace defence on that occasion. So end-to-end action past the 10-minute mark. Palace hoping to do some damage here. Got a right-wing free kick. Could this be the moment to strike? In it comes, left-footed. It's a good delivery as well. Headed away only as far as Chucks Okoli. Judd just couldn't pick out the ideal long-range ball. Okoli. Palace battling away for possession.
Get the shape, hold. Kingy, higher, Kingy, higher. Lorenz ready, Will, higher. Drop.
Palace with a long ball. It was good defensive work by Adedeji this time after Gray it was. He did a good job on Casey earlier on.
Chucks, how do you, Chucks?
Intriguing matchup so far.
Ben, come!
Palace on the attack. Williams challenging away. Diallo for Leicester in blue. And here they come again with Caleb Dyke knocking the pass towards Ombalaji.
Round back.
Marcus Hill clatters clear. Hasn't been called into action yet. It was just that good ball in from the right that was headed well away from goal for Leicester. For Palace, we got a glimpse of Benji Casey's attacking talent on the counter, driving forward, but over went Kevin Gray, the Leicester number 5, to stop him in his tracks. It's been a compelling first quarter of an hour. Who's going to have the first serious attempt on goal, I wonder? You just get the impression that Palace are laying the foundations. Of course, they're quite capable of scoring in flurries, and they often come on strong in the second half, this team. Showing good fitness levels and concentration. Here they come now with Dean Benamart, who's more than happy to carry the ball with determination in from the left-hand side. That was a good diagonal burst from Benamart. And he may well be the player to take this. Joel Thomas is interested though, and Benamart, having done his work to win the free kick, will leave set-piece duties to Thomas. Getting regular action at under-18 level. He's done well for the under-16s. It's Palace's number 7. Cavalry forward from the back. Samade's up there. George King as well, and it comes from Thomas, nicely flighted. Adedeji's header away, back in by Samade, forward from the back, and that's a really good cushioned header from Kevin Gray. Calm defending from the big Leicester rearguard rock, rolled out by Donahue. And away by the home side. Josh King, he's got Ombalaji in front of him. He uses the number 10, Ombalaji, but that's brilliant defending. Absolutely terrific work. Reece Adams-Coleman getting back there. Didn't mistime it, waited, and got the challenge in to perfection. That's what you want to see. All hands to the pump. Everyone working for each other, snuffing out any potential threat from the Leicester players. Next up for the under-21s, by the way, is Wolves on Monday night at the VBS Community Stadium, Sutton. Tickets still available, £1 for £1. Great value. The under-18s live next week against Spurs for a trip to Southampton. I remember Oliver Glasner's pre-match press conference is live. The Brentford one on Friday, and best of luck to the seniors this afternoon. Palace making life uncomfortable for Leicester without really doing much in the final third as yet. That could change here with a Coley gathering the ball, but his opposing number 8, Caleb Dyke, was just about ready to stop him.
Move the ball! Get in the box! Box! Box!
Here's a cross in, it's a good ball in as well by Dean Benamart, flapped away, but he looks possibly the most likely to create something. Palace's number 3, Leicester on the breakaway. Will Daniels up against Jasper Judd. Daniels gets the crossover. What a crucial header that is from George King. Brilliant, and it needed to be. Got the touch, did the Palace defender. With Leicester away down the left-hand side. Daniels got the better of Judd, but he couldn't get the better of George King. Right place, right time. Judged the trajectory of the cross well.
You've got to make their back free. Stretch. Keep going.
Palace standing firm. the keeper, Marcus Hill, with a driven clearance. Taylor. Page. Reese Kaler. Adedeji. And Gray gets away from one and then forces the foul from Chuksakoli. Dyke into the feet of Alpha Diallo. They look evenly matched, these teams. Good work by Hutchinson, and then King back to goal, trying to manoeuvre the ball, engineer some space.
Organise. It doesn't come out again. Ball, that is.
Arcing ball, and it's a good one. Hutchinson gets it back into the mix, headed away, and that's an important touch this time by Sean Samade in defence. So King and Samade with important contributions. The ball's into the box of late. Here's Hutchinson. He's tricky, isn't he? Gets to the byline. Good ball in, and more resilience in the rear guard. And then the shot, and what a stunning hit that is. It's some opening goal. Louis Page for Leicester. That was unstoppable as the Foxes take the lead at the King Power Performance Centre. Palace weren't able to clear their line sufficiently, and Page blasted it into the back of the net. No chance for Marcus Hill there. He struck it with such ferocity, did the Leicester number 4. Hasn't been much in this game, really. Little to choose between the teams. It needed some inspiration in terms of goal-scoring threat, and that is what Louis Page provided there. It's a sensational hit. Really generated the power, got the accuracy, and Marcus Hill was powerless to prevent Leicester from seizing the initiative in this under-18 Premier League contest. Palace looking to bounce back, but it's Leicester with the opening goal, thanks to Louis Page. Leicester 1, Crystal Palace 0. But you would back Palace to come on strong in the remainder. They've shown tenacity, character, and real bounce-back ability in the past this season. But it's Leicester currently 11th out of 13 teams in this division, Premier League South. Played 10, won 2, drawn 3 and lost 5 before this game, with a goal difference of -5. Only picked up 9 points. When you compare that to Palace's 19 points in the 12 games played, won 5, drawn 4, lost 3. Goal difference of +4. It's just become +3 though. Started in 3rd, but now they're having to do more defending. Hutchinson has been a real live wire, slippery, gifted. And in comes the cross from Diallo this time. Keeper comes out, and it should be cleared, and is, by Joel Drakes-Thomas. Bit of a bombardment at the moment from Leicester, playing with the tails up, sitting pretty on a 1-0 lead. Palace just needs something to spark them into action. Maybe it'll be Casey with a darting run, or perhaps Coley can get a grip in the midfield, but Kaler has played his part. Leicester will feel they're good value for the lead at the moment, and they want another one. Here comes the shot, good block. It's Ombalaju who hammered it in, and now Hutchinson being followed by Dean Benamar. Benamar, really good. Probably been Palace's most eye-catching performer so far. Important they don't concede a second quickly after the first. But it really was a very, very good strike from Page. Past the midway point of the opening period.
Well done, Dean.
It's Leicester with the slender advantage. Finished 1-1 between these two earlier in the season. Panama with the equaliser, 26th of October. And since that, Palace have been excellent, really. 1-1 at Arsenal. As Panama looks to try and win the corner. Battling away with Alpha Diallo. It's an important tussle between those two, I think. Yeah, you look at the form since the 1-1 draw. They had draws with Arsenal and West Brom. And a win against Arsenal, Brighton, and Chelsea. It's a crunching challenge. It really was appreciated by the Leicester bench, competing and hoping to build on their advantage. So just chance to refocus for Crystal Palace. Maybe just a little bit of tactical tinkering here. Having a chat with the players, they just need to build up ahead. It's been get into some rhythm. It's been difficult for them. Leicester playing with a real application. They're well aware that they want to recapture their sparkling form of the early part of the season. That you'd have to say they've done that in the game so far. But Palace, well, they've had a lot of second-half goals in recent matches, and no reason that can't happen today. But you do need to just shift the balance of power in the contest. 1-0 down, Palace. If you joined us late, Louis Page with a stunning strike for Leicester after they applied some concentrated pressure on the away goal.
Come on, boys, we don't drop, we don't drop. Keep the same intensity. Yes, bro, settle, yes, bro. Yes, bro, settle. Hey. Keep going, Maxwell. Come on, keep organising. Well done. Yeah, same again, we don't let it drop off. Don't let him throw back. Will, don't let him throw back. Don't let him throw back. Tell me. Will, don't. Flex. Maxwell!
What have Palace got up the sleeve as we resume proceedings? Vibrant junior Leicester City with Diallo for King. The visitors coming away with it. Breaks Thomas. And Zach Henry, mention his name too much yet, but this type of player. Got the second in the win at Arsenal, the first in the 2-0 at Brighton. So he scores important goals. You'd back him if he gets a chance. He's just getting him and Casey Williams more involved in the game. They haven't really allowed them. They're just feeding off scraps a little bit at the moment. Good header by Okoli. Crashed away towards Daniels, who's been constantly threatening on the left wing for Leicester City.
I doubt if you're getting behind.
Kayla with throwing.
Yes, lads. Come on. Just King. Step now.
Make sure you stay tuned at half-time for the key moments from the first half, tail of the tape, and chance to see the women's 6 goals against Sheffield United in the FA Cup And another opportunity to hear from Romain Messer, Palace's new signing. Williams, good work to retain possession. And he's fed Zach Henry with Benamar on the overlap. Promising from Palace. And they are able to counter superbly. So slick, so quick normally on the breakaway. That's why they just have to keep it at 1. They have to stay interested in the game. You just know they're going to have a spell at some point. Benamar's throw. Good idea. Didn't quite have the execution. And Jack Donahue has had a fairly quiet early afternoon so far.
Wide as you can, Will.
Third of the way through this Under-18 Premier League South contest in the Midlands. Leicester with the lead, given to them by Louis Page's thunderous strike, flying past Marcus Hill.
Go on, bench! Go on, bench! Over, Zach.
Even though we tend to look at it through Palace tinted spectacles on Palace TV, you'd have to say that Leicester have had the better of it.
Come on, keep feeding the wide players.
Kayla
Feeding the wide players and fullback.
receives the ball again. Page has been the difference so far. Diallo just exploiting the space there. Adams-Coleman went over just to close it down with the support of Benamar and George King, who alongside Samade has made the key contribution or two. They were keeping Leicester at bay. It took something special, a moment of real inspiration from Page to break the deadlock with defences dominating. Gilt-edged opportunities have been few and far between. Can they work Jack Donahue in the Leicester goal between now and half-time? Gray can't get to the ball. Here come Palace. Oh, and the whistle is blown. Unlucky for Benji Casey. He's got 5 goals at this level this season, 16 games. Did have that good burst forward, which Kevin Gray managed to deal with.
Stay inside first, Joel. Joel inside first.
A few minutes to go. King loses out. Good work from Palace. Drakes Thomas now takes up the play. Taking on Kayla. Slides in firmly. Drakes Thomas looking to make things happen. Who's going to light that Eagles touch paper? They trade one of the goals they scored at West Ham just now.
That's why we've got a double twist. You've got to press.
Good play that by Henry.
Lock it in!
Fizzing one in. Better this from the visitors. But Leicester emerge with the ball. And Dyke high for Daniels. Samade goes over. King. And Dyke's shot is blocked well. Really good defensive work. George King. And now Kevin Gray playing at the heart of defence with Maxwell Adedeji for Leicester. Daniels. Jasper Judd goes over to meet him. Daniels clips it in. Really good ball. Took a little nick as Dyke keeps it alive for Hutchinson. And now Diallo trying to do a Louis Page, going for glory, but always rising over the bar. So Hill not pressed into action, but Diallo, his eyes lit up there, but couldn't show the finishing quality that Page demonstrated a few minutes ago. But it's Leicester who've sculpted the scoring possibilities. Palace just failing to manufacture anything clear-cut. There's been promise with the odd little run by Henry. Casey looking to impose himself when he can. Dyke goes down, called for the decision and got it. Plays the free kick quickly for Ombalaji. Hutchinson. Oh, good stuff from George King. That's what you want to see from him. Crunching challenge, winning the ball for his team, getting it up the pitch.
Yes, Will. Too high, too early.
Palace applying themselves and looking to have a fruitful final 10 minutes of this first period on Palace TV. Lunchtime fixture, under 18s head-to-head with Leicester. It's the Foxes who lead through a Louis Page blockbuster. Diallo and Hutchinson, who's constantly been a thorn in the side of Palace's left-hand side. Now King takes up the play. Hutchinson aiming to latch onto it. Kayla for Daniels. Pinged in. Likes to play in an early ball, doesn't he? Will Daniels, the Leicester City number 11.
Kevon, good lad. Alpha, Alpha. Well done. Lorenz.
Plenty to ponder for Palace.
Maxwell, Kevon, make sure it's organised.
One in arrears. The referee just calling for some assistance here, possibly. Let's hope. Apologies for any blue language that might be coming over the microphones.
I feel like that's what they're trying to chop on.
But the physio is out.
If it's coming from that side, they can't.
Not quite sure what that issue is. Checks a Coley.
About 8.
It's possibly a nosebleed. But here's hoping he can get back on the pitch very soon. For now, Palace down to 10 players, as Leicester were in the corresponding fixture, but managed to grind out a 1-1. So 1-0 up here, though. Yep, Palace is number 8. Chuck's thrown back on after the treatment. Here's the ball in from that left wing. Good work again by Benamar, getting the better of Hutchinson this time. Kayla pops up on the right. Hutchinson, one of the players of the half. With Gray. And King likes to drop off and instigate when he can.
Well done. Well done.
He's an awkward player to mark. But aside from that Page rip snorter, Palace have actually defended really well. The disappointment is they've not really been able to get the passing movements in the opposing half together, but they've actually defended manfully. Raced out of his penalty area there, did Marcus Hill. Rabbit out the traps, met the ball well. Diallo
Kevon, not too wide, Kevon.
for Hutchinson. They've been real menaces down the right side of Coley.
Round Maxwell.
Casey tries to get onto this one. Oh, well, did he get the ball there? I think, yeah, he did. May have got some of the man as well, Adedeji, but Casey sprinting down the left. I thought he was just going to nick it away from Adedeji. He went in robust fashion. He got the ball. Casey outstrips most for speed, but he couldn't get the better of Adedeji on that occasion. It's been the nearly story, just when you think Palace might get a move together. Good work by Jasper Judd.
Steady. Good Louis. Good Louis.
Adams Coleman doing his utmost to win it back for his team. Into the final 5 of the first 45 at the King Power Performance Centre, Leicester. It's the home team who lead 1-0. Louis Page with a stellar moment. Ball broke towards him. He smashed a shot past Hill. The visitors haven't created much,
Not too high, too early. Kingy, that's you.
but they've been ruthless in recent matches in the league.
Good boy. Good boy.
Winning 4 past Chelsea, 5 past West Ham. They've beaten Arsenal and Brighton
You gotta go with him.
recent times as well, so they've got goals in them. Sometimes you have to hold your hands up. You just got to hang in there. Things aren't going your way. They go in at 1-0. It's not the end of the world. They'll have a chance to have a good chat in the changing rooms. Obviously, they'd love to nick a goal between now and the interval.
And again, keep playing off it.
Maybe, just maybe, there's always hope for it with the talent they've got on the pitch. Here now is Kyrese Adams-Coleman. Excellent work. A Coley, calm on the ball. Slides the pass along the turf, and it's a really good one as well for Joel Drakes-Thomas, but they ganged up on him there, didn't they? Kayla and Daniels, and that really epitomises Palace's half. There's been promise, they just haven't been able to deliver when they get up towards that final third. And the clinical cutting edge came from Louis Page at the other end. It's been a competitive, combative fixture, but it's been adorned, the first half from Leicester's point of view, by the ball striking ability of Louis Page. And for all Leicester's threats, apart from that Page shot, can't actually remember Marcus Hill having to make a save, to be honest. There have been important contributions from Samade and King and some of the other defenders. Here's Hutchinson up against King. Hutchinson fires one into the danger zone. Away, though, by a combination of Benamar and King. And here's Benji Casey. Quick, did really well. And now it's Williams. Excellent attack this from Crystal Palace right at the end of this first half. Drakes-Thomas gets involved. Williams finds the angle. Drakes-Thomas up against the goal scorer Louis Page, doing the dirty work. Drakes-Thomas calls for the decision. Does he get it? He does. Excellent. Much better that from Palace. And they've got a set-piece opportunity. Well, having been under the cosh for quite a bit of this first half, they've weathered a few storms. Yes, they're behind, but they could hold themselves level here. You just know the delivery is likely to be good from Dean Benamar. Right wing, left boot, plays it short and low for Williams, who just didn't get enough on the ball. And that's just a bit sloppy from Palace. It's a shame. They decided to try and play it short, but didn't execute it. And now they've conceded a free kick, so they'll be disappointed they didn't capitalise on that dead ball scenario. Did have the possibility of getting it into the box, and
2 minutes, Kevon. Play smart.
a couple of minutes of added time at the end of the first 45.
Get round the ring.
It's been energetic stuff. Leicester will feel they're good value for the lead, even though they weren't creating obvious openings. And Page did his thing to dazzling effect.
Go on then, Seb. Seb, you go. Seb. Seb. Go on, Seb.
A dear diary moment for him. Palace, you feel big conversations to come at half-time. Sure, they'll back themselves to get a result despite being behind. Just dying embers of the first period. Can they get it into that Leicester half and just sow a few seeds of doubt? Maybe give themselves some momentum when they come back out, just to demonstrate their attacking quality. Samade for Jasper Judd. Judd loses out, but that's good work by Daniels. And now Ombalaji on the left-hand side, making that peeling run, but then he loses out. Tyrese Adams-Coleman, sarcastic comments from Leicester. How long's this, 2 minutes? So that suggests that they're very keen to get in to the dressing rooms at 1-0. Just the closing seconds of what's been a frustrating first 45 from Palace's perspective, you'd say. Diallo and Hutchinson. Oh, that's good. Like to see that from one of your flair players, your forward players. Casey getting back, assisting the rear guard to win the ball. But there is the half-time whistle from the referee. Leicester lead thanks to Louis Page's superb strike. Crashed one past Marcus Hill.
Come on!
Well, Crystal Palace have produced some sparkling second-half displays this season. Have they got another one in them here? Leicester, good value for their lead, admittedly, at half-time. But Palace looking to take on board any tactical tweaks, any tinkering, any particular advice given to them at half-time. And they'd like to make a fast start, wouldn't they? Just to ask the questions, just to explore those avenues of possibility, because most of the doors have been slammed shut in their face so far. Here's a Coley attempting to float one through the middle. Tyrese Adams-Coleman with the follow-up ball. Now it's with Hutchinson. Pushes along the turf for Ombalaji. Good play by Sean Samade. And it needed to be, didn't he? He's deceptively quick, isn't he? Palace's number 5. And he'd worked out the angles there. That's good reading of the game and defensive intelligence from Sean Samade. It has come at the cost of a corner, though.
Who's coming out?
From the right wing. Leicester have made a change. Hugo Delisle's on. And he's got the responsibility of taking the corner, the substitute. Played it over. Palace haven't made any switches to their lineup at the break. Here's Zach Henry, the number 11. That was good, mature work by Henry. Brilliant, by the way, that Asherak Benoni's playing for Gillingham today. Jemiah and Molu going on loan. He's been doing so well for the under-21s. That is what it's all about for the academy. And these players, yeah, they're a little bit young, maybe to go out on loan in the EFL yet, but certainly under-21s have been going out and doing really well. That's always what the academy are thinking of. And even Jesse Derry stepping up to the under-21s and getting a goal last night. That's maybe next on their dream board, these under-18s. For now, though, they've got to try and get the better of Leicester in the league.
Carry it, carry it.
lowly Leicester and potent Palace it's been of late, but this is going against the form book at the moment. This is the Leicester of August that we've seen, really, who were banging the goals in at Chelsea and West Brom and getting another entertaining score draw, but they've struggled ever since that explosive opening month of the campaign. It's Palace who've been coming on strong. Will they come on strong in the second half, the visiting outfit? Absolutely vital they don't concede a second.
Come on, Chucks. Get on the ball, son. Come on, Seb, drop in.
And it is actually the goal scorer who's gone off, so there'll be no more fireworks from Louis Page, but he's been the difference. But it's actually he who's been substituted for Hugo Delisle. Not sure whether he had an injury. You'd be surprised given the quality of strike and the effect he had in the first half, but he will play no further part. And Hugo Delisle on for him, who took that corner moments ago. So first few minutes of this second half, Palace 1-0 down. George King.
Steady, Lorenz, steady. Don't open it up.
Fellow defender Sean Samada.
Come on.
Benamar.
Steady, Laulu. Too early.
Samade in front of Hutchinson. Marcus Hill assesses the situation. Of course, they work a lot in training on distribution for the keepers to try and produce the complete package, part of his football education between the posts. Just edging forward. The longer it goes at 1-0, Leicester might just start to doubt themselves. They haven't had that winning feeling in a long time, this Leicester team.
Sean,
Palace, it's become a habit for them, getting maximum points. But they're 1-0 down here. Coley. And now Joel Drakes-Thomas for Casey. Well, he's shouting at the referee, hoping for the decision, didn't get it. Casey hoping to make mischief, keep this energy is the cry from the sidelines, and Casey will always show energy. He'll always be concerning opposing defenders. Didn't get the decision there though. Jack Donoghue, surely he'll have saves to make in the second half. Palace have just got so much attacking aptitude. You'd be surprised if they didn't at least have a little flurry of activity at some point. But there are no guarantees in the Under-18 Premier League.
Second balls, Joel!
11th hosting third, and it's 11th. They'll have a position of supremacy, but it's by no means an unassailable advantage. As we welcome everyone listening and watching live on Palace TV+. Full comprehensive coverage of the academy sides, under-18s and under-21s. Of course, the women's team as well as the men's seniors. Can't wait for the game this afternoon. Big opportunity, yes, bit of new manager bounce for West Ham, but Palace really started to hit their stride this season under Oliver Glasner. It's been a slow burner, but you've just got in the back of your mind how well they finished last term. So if they're able to reproduce that sort of quality, then, you know, future could be really bright for Palace with the acquisition of Romain Essa. Great to hear him talking well, excited at joining the club. And we've got live audio commentary to come from BBC Radio London for West Ham versus Palace this afternoon at 3 p.m. Here, the under-18s doing some defending and doing it well, with Judd and Coley completing the clearance. Henry, and now Williams takes up the play. This is better from the visitors, showing a little bit more cohesion with Benamar and Williams. Stabs it with the outside of the right. You could see the idea there, just didn't quite get it right. And now Hutchinson. Leicester probably thinking, well, we're going to need another goal or two to get a win here. Such is the ability of the Palace lineup. Haven't really been able to show that ability up against a well-drilled, organised Leicester outfit. Both teams showing good attitude, hunger and desire here, but it's Leicester who've had the quality when they've needed it. And here they come again with Delisle getting involved. Delisle for King. Quite happy just to roll it back for Kayla. In no hurry here. They know they're in the box C.
Go on, Benj up! Go on, Benj!
Louis Page's excellent strike. He's not on the pitch anymore, though. Now it's with Zach Henry for Palace. Did really well. If only he could have got a little bit more pace on that pass for Casey. It went in between Casey and Williams. Leicester on the charge now. Hutchinson, brilliant work by Dean Benamar. Hutchinson just showed enough of the ball to Dean Benamar, who was able to get the touch he needed. And well, how he'd love to get another goal, as he did earlier in the campaign against this opposition. Palace's bench, by the way: Ewan Danaher, Jack Mason, David Montjon, Jerome Osai and Tyler White. Maybe one of those could make themselves a hero. Here's Coley's header, and now Adams-Coleman. Hasn't quite happened going forward. That's a really good sliding challenge by Samade. King and Hutchinson. Good technical player, but Samade once again keeping Palace interested at 1-0. They're right in this game. It can all change the nature, complexion of a football match in an instant. Hasn't been the best day at the office, you'd have to accept so far. King is over to meet Lawrence Hutchinson.
Out of possession, that's fine.
Come in.
Dean! Dean! You mark Kyrese! Kyrese up!
Palace get the decision there, but they're deep inside their own half as we edge towards the hour mark, and well, not much has happened really in terms of scoring potential for either team since they came back out. Just got the angle wrong, did George King there, shouting in exasperation into the early afternoon chilly air of the East Midlands. Is it going to be one of those days for Palace's under-18s, or have they got something special still to come? Stay here to find out. Diallo away by King, don't know too much about it. Free kick for Palace. They want to take it quickly. They want to inject some urgency into proceedings. George King ponders his next move and elects to play it for Jasper Judd, Crystal Palace's number 2. And now Drakes Thomas. And Drakes Thomas not happy with the referee for awarding the throw into Leicester there.
Get Joel to slide it. There's no space to play.
There's no space to play, is the comment from the coaches, and they know what they're talking about. Up close and personal on Palace TV Plus. The academy action. Looking at the stars of the future.
Runner George.
Here's Lorenz Hutchinson for Leicester and Diallo. Williams
Next one in.
not allowing
Good.
Dyke to settle.
Pass the
And
ball.
Palace have it back.
Pass it.
Pass the ball.
Paris, central.
Other words of wisdom from the sidelines. Delisle and Dyke. Delisle again. And making Palace chase the ball here, controlling the game. Daniels jousting with Drake's Thomas, away by Hill. But it's Leicester who are enjoying the possession inside the Palace half. It's been that sort of afternoon so far for the visitors. Can't establish their usual fluency and rhythm. Leicester really are playing well here. Got the bit between their teeth. I think they've looked at it and thought, well, we're better than no wins in 10 in all comps and losing the last 5. Did run, I mean, having beaten one at Chelsea in the league, as we mentioned earlier this season, going goal crazy in August. They did run them close in the Youth Cup. 3-2 defeat. Oh, here come Leicester now, and the shot is crashed over the bar. Will Daniels just getting a little pocket of space there inside left channel. Thankfully, from Palace's perspective, no save required by Hill as it zoomed over the target, but the eyes lit up there. Lifted his head and lifted the ball over, and it remains at 1-0 to the home side. It's really been the only blot on the under-18's copybook, that very narrow loss at Manchester City. Really, these two clubs unfortunate in a way with the draw, because obviously it's City and Chelsea who've dominated the Youth Cup in recent years, but Palace still hopeful of achieving silverware at this level, and of course the under-21's in Premier League 2 as the shot comes in. Snapshot from well outside the penalty area there. He didn't look too worried, Marcus Hill, to be honest. I think he wasn't that far away from goal, to be honest, but he, yeah, he's not bothered to make. He probably had it covered, didn't he? A keeper of his shot-stopping ability, and he saw it travel adjacent to the post. But just a couple of glimpses there for Leicester. Stays 1-0, and well, very rare, isn't it, when we've watched the under-18s and the under-21s over the years, for Palace to have created so little. That's good, commanding goalkeeping, authoritative from Marcus Hill. He made the call and made the claim, because that was an awkward little ball into the box. Then he tried to release Benji Casey, who keeps running, doesn't he? He keeps working like a Trojan. He keeps trying to get into the areas, and you just know if he can get that one chance, that one sniff of goal, that they might just be able to get themselves loaded. If Palace could get something out of the blue, then you back them to go on and win it, but they need to start stringing together the passes in the opposing half, as Leicester have been doing. That's a little bit risky from Hill. He just stayed on the ball for a split second too long, and then he was forced to hurry his clearance, and that's why it was difficult for Adams Coleman to keep it in. Diallo, away by Williams, but it keeps coming back at Palace. Ball forward by Adedeji, and now on Balaji for Hutchinson. More impressive defensive work by Palace. They've had to do quite a lot of defending in this game, though.
Don't get too close, don't get too close.
Don't get too close is the instruction from the sidelines. Live on Palace TV Plus. Back in the youngsters,
Sean,
making their way in the game.
Jerks.
Third
They're fine.
in the table going into this one. 1-0 down. Louis Page's won the strike for Leicester in the first half. Now here come Palace on the breakaway. Casey's the player you want on the ball, and he releases Henry. Zach Henry now tries to plough a furrow through the centre. But Leicester work it away. Not too well though, and Palace have it back now. Oh, Cody didn't get the angle right, and Leicester have a chance to go on a counter of their own, looking for an attacking foray down the left. But when he started running at them there, Casey, you felt something might be about to happen.
Other side! Other side! Yes! Good decision, Jake. Yes, Kingy.
Just creeping towards the 20-minute mark in the second 45. Now King, is he away here? Oh no, he isn't, because Sean Samade, not for the first time, is immaculate. That's impeccably timed. He needed to get that right or he was in big trouble. But he did it with an air of composure, didn't he, and certainty, confidence in his ability there, did Sean Samade. Terrific stuff. Sometimes it's not all about the brilliant attacking, swashbuckling, buccaneering forward play that we have admittedly seen in the last game, particularly the last couple of games. But sometimes you have to admire good defending, don't you? And they have done some very good defending in the game, but they do find themselves behind. And it's Leicester who are bringing on David Anugo, the number 16. So it's Leicester who've been making the changes.
On this side.
And he will enter the fray. Now Palace making a double switch. Tyler White, I think they've called Chuck Sokoli over. He's one of the players coming off. So White, who was involved in the Youth Cup squad, gets his opportunity. Just getting the words of advice. And the other player coming on is Ewan Danaher. So it is the two players who were involved in the Youth Cup for the first time in the squad. Now they get some league action.
Joel, 10, yeah?
All side, all side. All side, Joel.
Lads, stay concentrated. You go, boys, come on.
Double switch for Palace, freshening things up.
Done, Kingy, son.
Have an idea, have an idea.
Well done, George.
It is
Hey, come on, lads, let's
that
go.
going to make a difference.
Caleb, lock it in.
Yeah, first contact.
Narrow defeat to Leipzig last night in the Premier League International Cup for the under-21s. And they're just behind at under-18 level domestically here.
Thank you. Cheers, that well weighted,
Go.
But they'll give it their absolute
You got Seb this
all
side.
to change the narrative in this contest. It's
Come
been
away then.
a disciplined home performance that's had that one shining light.
Go higher. Come on, Seb, higher.
Louis Page in the first half.
Second balls, fellas, loudly. David, second ball.
Away by Marcus Hill.
Go on,
Samade and George King, they've got through some work, those two, haven't they? And it did take a sublime strike to beat them from Page. Aside from that, they have to say, yes, Leicester have dominated it in parts, but they've not really looked like scoring. It needed a special hit like that to break them, because I do like the look of King and Samade, Judd to their right as well, but they've not been able to get a grip on the rest of the pitch, really.
Next phone, let's try work the switch, boys.
And, well, normally they look to win every game, but I think if you offered Palace a draw at the moment, they'd probably take it midway through the second half.
Round the four, Lorenz. Round the 4.
Now, Tyler White, good to see him get on the ball early, fresh off the bench. That's what you want. Make an impact, make your mark, assert yourself on the contest. He wins his team a free kick. Good, that'll give him a little lift, and maybe that could somehow give a boost to the rest of the players. You just need a little burst, a little bit of change of tack. Away by Hill. Up goes Drake Thomas. And White challenges illegally, says the referee, and it's a free kick. So, well, he's certainly been involved in the action. One good bit of play, and then not quite so good as he commits the infringement. Now, free kick then for Leicester City into the final quarter of this Premier League South.
Benji, just around the 16, just beyond the back of it. Just on the back.
Daniels, who came off for Leicester, by the way, with a new go entering the fray.
Yeah, that one. Keep going.
That's it. Keep going, Ben. Just be close enough to influence him.
And just to confirm, it was Chuck Sokoli who came off with Zach Henry for the substitutions. Here's the header up high and over the bar. Well, they're claiming something at Leicester. That was a really good ball. More fabulous rearguard work from Palace. The cavalry have come forward. They really have pinged those balls into the box, but they keep getting it away. This one has come at the cost of a corner kick, though. And it's the player who came on at the start of this half, Hugo Delisle, for the goal scorer Louis Page, to take this left wing corner with the right boot. He's generated good curl on the ball. The header down and wide. What a glorious chance for two. Alpha Diallo ghosted into the position. Excellent ball in from Hugo Delisle. Palace have been able to head those away for the majority of the contest. Not that time, though, and Delisle, when he headed that, well, he did a textbook effort, really, low into the ground. It bounced up and fractionally wide of the target. So close. And, well, 2-0. That could have been game over. As it is, Palace are still in it, and they're making a double change. So introducing David Montgen and Jerome Osai. So with Danaher and White having previously come on, now it's another double switch, Montgen and Osai. So 4 new players on. What effect can they have? Made sense to do it, really. Oh, and that's a bad one by the player who's just nearly scored on Benamar. Referee waves play on with Palace on the ball. Williams, who's stayed on the pitch. That's just too far in front of Montgen. Well, we talked about Henry and Casey, Okoli maybe being the threats. Maybe it's going to be one of the subs who gets Palace out of trouble here. It's given Leicester something else to think about, but they've got to get the service, haven't they? They've got to try and start to take charge of the midfield area. But they've lost out here to the excellent Diallo, who thought he'd scored, I think, when he headed that just wide of the post moments ago. Here's King, Josh King of Leicester, of course, up against George King of Palace in today's game. I think what will be disappointing is that the lack of opportunities. It was Casey and Adams Coleman who made way for David Montgen and Jerome Osai. Belted away for Jerome Osai, strong on the ball. Good link up as well with Montgen, his fellow sub. Osai with Drake's Thomas on the overlap, gets the cross in, that's good. Williams now, can he get the shot away? He can, takes a deflection, and the shot is belted in, and Palace are level. Take a bow, Jerome Osai. He was involved in the build-up there. They're level, and the subs making a difference for the Junior Eagles. Brilliant stuff. They've hung in there. Leicester have given a good home performance, but inspired substitutions. Jerome Osai making an impact off the bench. That's what you want to see, the strength of the squad, and here's the scoring hero. He generated good power on that follow-up shot, and there was no opportunity for Jack Donoghue to make the save, and they're back on level terms. Palace looking to continue an excellent run in the league, and they've hauled themselves to parity. It's 1-1. Fine goal from Jerome Osai, the super scoring sub. Well, talk about making a difference. Of course, he was combining with Montjan in the build-up, and he had the presence of mind, he had the power, he had the determination and application to get into that area. In came the shot, and the goal was scored to make it 1-1. Really pleased for Jerome. Immediately effective and inspired, and I have to say, you would back Palace to win this now. You really would. Youthful effervescence and exuberance off the bench, and it bodes well, doesn't it, when the players who've been doing the business were substituted, and it's the new players who've come on. But Leicester up the other end now, ball floated through the middle, and Josh King wasn't able to take it under his control. Really intelligent hoisted pass, he pursued it. Oh, that would have been disastrous for Palace to concede so soon after equalising, but it just moved away from King, and Palace dealt with it. It just shows the value when things aren't going for you. You've just got to make sure you don't concede again, stay in the game, and it's changed with a counter-attack. Osai started it, Osai, the stellar sub, finished it. Game on. More goals to come, possibly. It's been quite a cagey affair, hasn't it? And Palace had been subdued, but they won't be subdued now. And it might just open up, because Leicester will think, well, we were in charge of the game, now we're being pegged out. We're going to try and assert ourselves again. That could play it into Palace's hands. So I think we're going to get a riveting, potentially thrilling closing quarter of an hour. Here's Josh King now for Leicester into the penalty area. Step over, good defensive work. Can they scramble it away? And he gets to the ball well. Does Marcus Hill, gathering under pressure. Samade did well at the back once again. He's been a real tower of strength for Palace alongside George King. And really, I think if the away side get anything from this game, you've got to look at him and the way he's intervened on several occasions just to keep them interested in the game. And you know, you have to applaud the likes of Judd and King and Benamar as well, who've been very busy, let's face it, busier than normal perhaps. And now he's taken a knock for his troubles, and it's probably a good time for both teams, maybe Leicester particularly, to have the break, because now they've got to work out a way of trying to get back in front. But equally, now on a level footing, the Palace staff can get over the message and say, well, there's no reason you can't. You've shown you can score. You can go on and win this game for us. Again, impressive resilience from this Crystal Palace team.
Boys, the chances are coming again. Come on. When it comes to one
you can just sense that spring in the step now. 1-1. Which way will the pendulum swing next, I wonder? It's been an absorbing, interesting enough contest. Hasn't been spectacular or sensational in terms of chances. In fact, I mean, really, all Jack Donohue's had to do for Leicester is pick the ball out of the net from a size shot.
Keep going. Hey, hold on. Who we got?
Very few openings, but could it be a case of a couple of chances, couple of goals for Palace as they go for a second? They won't be happy with one. They want to go up level on points with Villa at the top, and that's what would happen if they could get the win. Although Villa do have games in hand, but Palace right in the mix in the upper echelons of the division. Leicester will think, well, where's this win going to come from? They have been quite positive since the setback of conceding, though, Leicester. Particularly Josh King through the middle has been battering away at the Palace door. Samade looks okay, which is a big relief. They don't want him having a problem. They've switched things up in the attacking positions and it's made a difference. Forward now, here they come again. Well, they'll be pushing for a start in the next game, the way they're playing, particularly this fella, Jerome Osai, who scored the equalising goal. King, the two Kings, Josh up against George.
Well done, Sean!
Well done, Sean. Well, I think we've had that phrase a few times, haven't we? Well done, Sean Samade. Marshalling the defensive troops. 1-1.
Be aware.
Leicester in the first half through Louis Page. Palace's sub, Jerome Osai in the second, making it one apiece.
Come on, first and seconds. Dean, Mark.
As we approach
Ewan, coming on,
crucial
Ewan.
final 10-minute period at the King Power Performance Centre. Leicester with Ombalaji getting to the byline. But Marcus Hill has the ball. And he'll leave it for George King. I think Leicester are going to make another change. They are indeed. Bismarck Owusu onto the pitch. Well, it's Palace's subs and one particular who've made the difference, but Owusu will look to do some damage down the right-hand side.
Well, you might get on it, Joel. You might get on it, Joel. Higher, Kingy,
Hill.
higher.
A vibrancy, a buoyancy about Palace now.
Next one in. Perfect, Joel.
Good work there by Drakes Thomas. And here's Montgen. Drakes Thomas continues the run, gets the cross in. It's a good one as well, and the shot hits the base of the post, and then the follow-up is saved brilliantly by the keeper. Well, Donohue has had very little to do in the game, but he's produced a stunning save there. Double chance for Crystal Palace to get themselves ahead. It was Drakes Thomas involved in the build-up. And wow, that is exasperating for the visitors. Really playing with a spring in the step now. They're threatening the goal, and he did so well, did Donohue, to keep them at bay, clawing the ball away. But it's two opportunities in the space of a few seconds for the visitors, really looking to turn the screw now, having got level. Osai with the layoff, and here's Benamar's cross. So well, the subs. Danaher with the ball in. Should be a second, and it is. Well, he's done it again. Jerome Osai at the double. Devastating, delightful, sensational from Palace's number 15. He's come off the bench with a positivity, an urgency, and he scored twice late in this game. Palace have had to grind this out. They weren't really creating much, but the subs have come on. They've put Leicester on the back foot. And Jerome Osai with 2 goals. Brace bagger. Is he going to be the match winner? They'd had a good double chance just before that. And Jerome, just the job for Palace's under-18s, who look set to continue their winning run. And they're going to go up towards the top of the table. They're competing in the upper echelons of the divisions this season. Brilliant stuff. 2-1 they lead.
Come on, Ewan!
And it's Jolly Jerome, the gem for Palace. He's on a hat-trick now. That'd be quite something, wouldn't it?
You ready, Biz? Keep playing your fullbacks, Caleb.
If he could go on and get a treble, he'll be happy with 2 if it ends up in the winning team. Well, Leicester will chase this now. There could be more scoring glory to come for Palace. Well, it took a while to get going in this game, but football's 90 minutes for a reason. It's sort of a double smash and grab, isn't it, really? But they could easily have scored just before that second, couldn't they? It was a stunning save by Donahue, but, well, tables have turned massively. Williams. Ossai won't just settle. I think I'm right in saying he's
yeah, we've got 7 till 45.
doubled his tally for the season. Just get that confirmed with Toby, but it's well, it's a brilliant effort.
Come on, next one in.
I mean, the phrase super sub could have been invented for Jerome Ossai. It's not just been him. In fact, you've got to look at Danaher and Montgen, Tyler White. They've all contributed to seizing the initiative here. They want a third to put this game to bed. Ossai competing with Kevin Gray.
Well done, Jerome. Well done, Ewan.
Well, Leicester look like they don't know what's hit them. I'll tell you what's hit them, a double whammy from Jerome Ossai. Him and his replacement mates have done well. Also, the players who still on there, I think Drake's Thomas has kept working hard. King forward, Leicester looking to make it 2-2. Here is their substitute. Great save, brilliant work by Marcus Hill. Bismarck Owusu clean through the middle. And you just feel it might be Palace's afternoon when things like that happen. That was a glorious opening. Clear chance, but it's really good shot stopping from Marcus Hill between the posts. Hasn't had many saves to make himself, but when called upon, that's the mark of a good keeper. Kept his concentration, made himself large, and there was no way past him. Is that save going to clinch 3 vital points for the Palace under-18s? Hill certainly hopes so. And, well, moments like that can just be priceless, can't they? You know, and it's the mark of a successful team who are doing well at the top of a division, isn't it? The ability just to you know, when you're not at your best, and they weren't, the players who've done so well for them previously, it just wasn't happening for them going forward. They've freshened it up, and it's been like a different game since that flurry of substitutions. There was a double switch. And yeah, he had 1 before this. Now he's got 3. Jerome Ossai.
Jerome, drop in midfield as a 4.
Drop in midfield as 4 is the advice to him. So he's done his scoring work. Now he's going to try and help the rest of the team. But wow, Owusu must have thought he was about to make it 2-2. Well, what a second half. Certainly vastly superior to the first. I won't use the usual cliche, but you know what I mean.
Open up, T.
4 to go. Here's Delisle swinging it over. Can they clear their lines? Yes, they can. Typical of Palace's resilience, the way they were able. It was in the balance there, just to push the ball away. I mean, I don't know about you, people who've watched the whole game might disagree, but there's a few contenders, aren't there, for player of the match. I think it would be hard not to give it to Osai, given his 2 goals and the way he's made a difference. But if you're looking for a player who started, then, I mean, for me, Samade has been a pillar, a rock at the back. King as well. But it's a team effort. The power of the collective, the camaraderie, the team spirit has been, the togetherness has been on show. In adversity, you find out the character of a bunch of players, don't you? Wasn't going their way, nothing was really happening, the odd crumb of comfort, and then bam. They'd stayed in at 1-0, they kept themselves interested, and Jerome Osai at the double. Off the sidelines, out of the shadows and into the light.
Again, up to the ball, Ewan.
Dyke for Kayla. Got it. Keep their composure now. They've worked so hard to get themselves ahead. Noses in front. They don't want to be hauled back. Here's Owusu, who had a really good possibility to make it 2-2, but it was thwarted by the excellent Marcus Hill.
David up front. David, stay up on your own. Seb, get him as a 4 with you.
David Montgen's been told to go up front on his own, and then Seb coming back.
I've got him as a 4.
So a bit of tactical tweaking. It's sort of been a managerial masterstroke, hasn't it? Whatever was said at half-time, but it's the subs who've made the difference. One obvious one. But that's why you have them.
Yeah, play, 6. Finish. Yes, off.
Is Montgen's looked good as well, actually. May have been he who had one of the chances for the build-up to the Donahue save. Here now come Palace with White. Montgen is the lone striker at the moment. Into the closing stages.
Seb, stop covering.
This would be brilliant. This would be every bit as satisfying, I think, as a big victory at West Ham and a thumping win over Chelsea, the wins over Brighton and Arsenal, all the others. I think this would be one of the most satisfying because the squad has shown its worth. When it hasn't been going, they've found a way. And yeah, go back to the old Manchester United teams under Alex Ferguson. You've got to win when you're not at your best. You have to find a way of getting the better of your opposition after the 90 minutes plus stoppage time. Not over yet, though. Although we are entering additional minutes.
Good, David. Jerome.
Delisle.
Steady, Dave. Just mirror.
It's looking so good for Leicester.
Come on, Dave! Come on, Dave!
Louis Page, their scoring hero, with a brilliant goal in the first half, but Jerome Osai with a pair of goals after coming off the bench, completely changing the complexion of this contest. Diallo and Owusu. Now here comes Drake's Thomas, who actually has just gone about his business. He's definitely struck up a rapport with the subs, and he attacked well, didn't he, down the left, leading to the double chance just before the goal. So I just think they can all be, even the players for whom it wasn't happening, they've contributed to tiring the Leicester defence a little bit. I mean, just wasn't to be. Casey, Henry, Okoli, it wasn't their day, but they gave it everything. Adams, Coleman, so the whole squad who've achieved this haven't got the win yet, though. Here's Benamar. He looks a good player, doesn't he? Dean Benamar.
Look it in! Look it in!
Maxwell!
Just lost the ball there, though.
Do what you can, Biz.
Do what you can, Biz. Directed towards Bismarck Owusu from the Leicester coaching staff. Remember to join us this afternoon. It's a double header for you, isn't it? This under-18 game, whetting the appetite, the trailer for the main feature. Well, it's more than that, isn't it? But the first team London derby, West Ham, live audio commentary to come. You'll hear that, you've seen this, and here come Palace with Montgen. 3 additional minutes, goes down. Is that a penalty? Montgen thinks so. Nothing given by the referee. He felt he was impeded. That really would have given Palace the chance to put the game to bed. He's led the line well as Montgen since coming on. He thought he was fouled, but nothing given by the official. Leicester breathe a big sigh of relief. They are still in with a chance here as Montgen competed in the penalty area. He felt the whistle should have been blown. It wasn't. And Leicester still have a glimmer of a chance. Palace hoping to close this out inside stoppage time. Anywhere will do as it's blasted away.
Jerome, alongside you.
We'll bring you the
From the front.
highlights
From the front, Joel.
at the end of the game. The double whammy from Jerome Osai.
Come and do the 8, Jerome.
2 goals for the sub.
Joel, come on, Joel.
His second and third of the season. Might just have got Palace the 3 points. They continue their terrific winning run in under-18 Premier League South. Leicester having roared into the lead through a brilliant strike by Louis Page. They led 1-0 at half-time. They were having the better of it, even though they didn't create too many other chances. Palace created very little, but made the subs. And Osai with 2. They might have had another goal or 2 as well. In comes Owusu. Oh, spectacular effort by King. And Kayla, and don't forget at 2-1 a big save by Marcus Hill to foil sub Bismarck Owusu. In comes the cross, and that might be that for Leicester. This is a really good win for Crystal Palace. They've grafted superbly here. It wasn't going their way in the first half. Louis Page's stunning goal separating the sides at the break, but they hung in there, they dug deep, they defended well, made the substitutions, and one of them came gloriously good. Jerome Osai with 2 quick-fire goals to turn the tables on the Foxes and continue Palace's winning run in the league.